Most people don't fail because they aim too high. They fail because once the dream starts to matter, their mind turns on them. It doesn't happen all at once. It's quieter than that. You start second-guessing things you used to do instinctively. You replay conversations after they're over. You catch yourself editing your personality in real time, smoothing edges you didn't even know you were sanding down. Wanting something badly changes how everything feels. If you've ever wanted something real, something that isn't just impressive, but actually meaningful, you know the pressure I'm talking about. The voice that asks whether you're asking for too much, whether you should calm down, whether this version of you is going to make things harder than they need to be. The voice doesn't show up because you're weak. It shows up because you care. If you watch my physics content, you're probably a student. And even if you're not a physics major, you're someone investing years of your life into a future you can't fully see yet. And that already tells me something about you. You're ambitious. And this video is for you and for me. Ambition doesn't just affect what you work on. It changes how you live inside your own head. And lately, I've been noticing how much energy ambition can siphon away if you're not careful. If I'm not careful. And this past month, I had a hard time being at peace internally. Not because something dramatic happened, but because my mind wouldn't let go of the small things, the mistakes I've made, the things I should have said differently, the moments where I let people cross lines I should have defended. Nothing catastrophic, but just big enough to replay. And the strange part is how expensive that kind of thinking becomes. The mistake already cost you something in the moment. The thing you said hurt the person. It lost you that friendship, lost you that relationship. And after that, you punish yourself for it. And while you're busy punishing yourself for it and feeling terrible throughout your day, the projects and the people that you actually do care about start slipping away out of reach. So a mistake doesn't hurt just once. It hurts 3 times. And if you're reaching for the moon, that pattern can become dangerous because perfectionism doesn't make you sharper. It makes you brittle. It keeps you staring backward when your life requires forward motion. And there's another cost that took me longer to notice. Not everyone is going to like you. No one says it that bluntly, of course. It comes dressed up as advice. You should relax a little. You take things too seriously. Or it's not that deep. And sometimes they're not wrong. I've had to look honestly at how I communicate. I'm direct, I'm matter of fact, I care about precision. And more than once, someone has said to me, I know you didn't mean this to sound rude, but it came off that way. And that one stings. Because intention doesn't protect you from impact. You can have positive thoughts in your head and yet still make someone feel small. That's real, and it's something that I've had to work on. But here's where it gets complicated. Being ambitious doesn't mean you're socially flawless, and it also doesn't mean you're obligated to sand yourself down until you fit everywhere. There's a difference between growing and disappearing, and it's subtle enough that you can cross it without noticing. I used to mistake discomfort for a sign that I needed to change, to tone it down, to say less, to care less visibly, to be easier to be around. And for a while, it honestly works. You blend in, you get fewer raised eyebrows, fewer comments, but something else starts to happen quietly in the background. You lose access to your own momentum. You hesitate more. You check yourself before you even know what you were about to say. You become easier to like, but harder to recognize. And that's the trade-off no one warns you about. Not fitting neatly into every room doesn't mean that you're broken. Sometimes it just means you're oriented toward something most rooms aren't built for. And that forces a decision. At some point, you have to decide what you're willing to change about yourself and what you're not. I've spent years experimenting with that boundary. There are things I genuinely needed to adjust. I needed to listen better. I needed to soften certain edges. I needed to learn when clarity could wait. But there are other things that I don't even need to apologize for. I do take things seriously. I do work fast. I do care deeply. I do bring a lot of energy into the things that matter to me. That doesn't make me difficult. It makes me specific. And the world doesn't stop spinning because you decided not to shrink anymore. There's one more thing I've been sitting with, especially as I think about the years ahead. Patience. Not the polished kind, not the kind people post about once they've already made it to the other side. The slower, heavier version. The kind that doesn't feel virtuous while you're in it. Building anything real takes longer than you want it to, longer than feels reasonable, and longer than your doubt thinks it should. It takes time to build a YouTube channel. It takes time to develop real scientific and mathematical understanding. It takes time to become someone you trust yourself to be. And that's been harder for me to accept than I expected. Because when you're ambitious, waiting can feel like failure, like you're falling behind some invisible schedule everyone else got a copy of. You start wondering whether you're doing something wrong, or worse, whether this just isn't meant to work out for you. But I'm starting to believe that great dreams are supposed to take time, that the slowness isn't a bug in the system. It is the system. I'm willing to devote years to this, not because it's easy, and not because I'm certain it will work out exactly the way I imagine, but because this is what it costs to build something that isn't hollow. We get one life, and I don't want to spend mine shrinking myself to make the wait more comfortable.